Good morning and namaste to everyone. I realize, I go through these spurts where I post constantly and then I'm just like MIA. And I realize there's a reason for that. I get disconnected from the outside world when it's time for me to learn a new lesson. And I think it's like the universe's way of telling me that I'm the student, literally, and the universe is the teacher. So in my last sabbatical, going through the last couple of, I want to say, weeks of intense sweating, and it had caused my pressure to drop. It was just, I was going through a lot. I could feel my pressure dropping every time I was having a hot flash. It made it feel like I was having an adrenaline rush. But I felt really weak and I just started crying. I was angry and I'm like, I'm tired of this. Every 20 minutes I'm having a hot flash, and my appointment from the time I made it in January isn't due. I'm not due to see the doctor until March 3rd. So it's frustrating. And even with all the supplements I'm taking, I realized something. Well, I didn't realize it. The universe told it to me and I listened. But I was gonna have to still my anger. I had to give into it, surrender into what is life, and just let it do its thing. So I went ahead and during one of my hot flashes, during one of my hot flashes, instead of getting angry because I just happened to have one, and I was just so tired of feeling frustrated and trapped in my body. So I'm like, if the universe says do this, then I'm gonna do it. Okay. So I sat there on the floor in front of the fan and I put my head down and I meditated. I took my mind outside of my body. I just put myself someplace else for a second and I just meditated. And it took about 2 minutes for the hot flash to completely go away before I started to feel cold, and now I'm drying myself off like the next 5-10 minutes before the next hot flash hits. It's a process. But it worked. And I did this every single time I had a hot flash until I wasn't angry anymore, until it was what it was. And it didn't stop me from doing like the normal day-to-day things that I wanted to do in the house. I was able to go ahead and just get through a meal. Like, let me go ahead and cook this really quick and not have to stop and, sit down and wait for the hot flash and then feel all angry and go through all these emotions. I just didn't want to go through that anymore. It's too much. So once I surrendered into it, started sending energy to my sacral chakra during my meditations, and at night when I was sleeping, just asking for a little bit of love in that area, so that the symptoms aren't quite as severe, with the understanding that it's something that I have to go through. So after a few days of doing that and practicing my meditation, going through it, the hot flashes started to slowly slow up. They went from 10 to 20 minutes to 45 minutes to 2 hours, and then there's 3 hours. Nights are a little hard for me, but during the day I'm feeling pretty good. And I thought about it. I said it's because I was able to relax my body enough to allow the supplements to do their job. I was too tense. So just a little tip for anybody out here who is going through those types of hot flashes, because girl, I feel your pain. But if you follow those techniques, I I can pretty much guarantee you're going to feel a lot better. You know, they're not going to be as severe. You're going to be able to get through it, and you're going to actually be able to do it with peace of mind. All right? It's cold out here, so I'm going back in the house. Talk to y'all later.